There is very little in the Tesla community as polarizing as full self-driving. You have people who either love it and believe in the future and are willing to spend thousands of dollars to prove it, or people who hate it, who don't see the value in it and think the thousands and thousands of dollars you're paying right now is simply not worth it as a value proposition. What you get for that money isn't a whole lot right now, in their opinion. And I kind of sit somewhere in the middle. I've talked before about full self-driving, how I believe in the future of it, I believe in the idea, but I don't think it's really worth buying right now in its current form, and how I think Tesla could improve that with a subscription model. And I've heard from many different people on different sides of the aisle, so to speak, who believe in one way or the other. But in this video, I kind of want to address the big issue. What's wrong with full self-driving right now? What are the issues that owners are facing? And how could Tesla fix what many would consider to be one of the biggest issues the company is currently facing? So to preface this video, I just want to reiterate again that I believe in full self-driving. I think the idea is awesome, and I believe that Tesla and the incredibly skilled engineers are able to make this a reality someday. To be able to get in your car and it totally drive itself beyond just off-ramps and on-ramps and city streets with special lights, the ability to drive itself on dirt roads and on unmarked streets, like, I totally believe the Tesla vehicle ecosystem is capable of doing this, and full self-driving is a thing we will one day see in the not so distant future. What I don't believe in right now is spending $7,000 or $8,000 to get the current version of full self-driving, to lose it when I sell the car, or be waiting for something that's never going to happen, or just not really get the full value of the feature set for the money I'm paying. And again, I understand this is an investment in Tesla. This is an investment in Tesla's future. And not only are you paying for the car, you're paying for this future idea as well, which I think is a very noble thing. And if you can afford to do that, then I think you believe in it, you definitely should. But I think that right now it's a flawed system. And I have a couple of ideas that I think could make it a little bit better and a win-win scenario for everybody. Let me kind of explain that a bit. So one of the things that Tesla themselves has hinted that they might do, and I think is honestly a great idea, is turning full self-driving into a subscription model. We don't know what this price would be, we don't know what the contract terms would be, but let's assume it's like premium connectivity. It's a very fair price, let's call it 50 or $100 a month, whatever it happens to be. And for that price, you're on a month-to-month contract, so you can cancel when you don't need it and subscribe when you do, and you get access to all the full self-driving features. So smart summon, auto park, auto lane change, navigate on autopilot. You get all the full feature set at your fingertips, at your steering wheel and your pedals. Basically, your car has full access to those features, and you pay a monthly price to access those features. And in the last video I will link to up here that I talked about this, I was surprised how polarizing this thought and idea was. Even though Tesla themselves says they're considering it, and we've seen leaks that it actually might happen pretty soon, I'm surprised how many people didn't want this to happen. And I saw a lot of arguments about, well, the price, why would you pay $100 a month? You're paying $1,200 a year to access this. You know, like, the math doesn't make sense. Like, why would you pay subscription for it when you could just buy it outright and own it? And a couple of responses to that. One is, a lot of people don't want full self-driving all the time. They want to subscribe when they want to use it, and they want to unsubscribe when they don't want to use it. I am a perfect example of that. I would probably use it for maybe some road trips in the summer and kind of off and on when I'm making long trips, but it's not a feature set I am currently interested in paying for 12 months a year when I really don't want to have access to it. And I'm okay paying a little bit of a premium price for a monthly basis to be able to subscribe and use it when I wanted to, and unsubscribe when I don't. Even if that's, again, a premium cost, I'm okay with that because I don't want to commit to that in a long-term investment. Also, for those who lease their vehicles, this just makes a whole lot of sense. Why would you spend $7,000, $8,000, whatever the current price of full self-driving is, to have it on the vehicle, and then, at least with the case of the Model 3, as of right now, you currently, cannot buy out the lease. You're going to return the vehicle and really have nothing to show for it on top of the lease payment. With full self-driving, the software suite that you had access to for 3 years at $7,000, but then don't have anything to show for it afterwards. And again, that's a whole separate discussion for another day, but this is why the subscription model just makes sense. It's cheaper to subscribe per month than to buy it outright, and it would be cheaper to be able to use it when you wanted to and not use it when you don't want to. And I'll get into it in a minute about what the downsides are for owners and stuff like that, but I do think that this would be a great way for Tesla to generate some revenue from people they wouldn't be getting money from if they didn't otherwise do this. For example, for me, I did not buy full self-driving. I have no plans to buy full self-driving. I don't have $7,000 or $8,000 just to throw and purchase full self-driving after the fact anyways, but I would consider subscribing to it when I wanted to use it. I would give Tesla a couple $100s a year to be able to subscribe and use full self-driving. Take my use case and multiply it by thousands and thousands of people. That is a considerable amount of money that Tesla could get from people who they wouldn't otherwise get money for if they were to offer this as a subscription service. It's just a no-brainer. It's an easy way for Tesla to generate some revenue from people they wouldn't otherwise be able to collect money from if they offered it as a subscription. That could impact the sale of full self-driving, and that could impact other things, but I'll come back to that in a second, how I think it could be a little bit more worthwhile to buy it. But in this case right now, subscription service, a la carte option to be able to subscribe when you want to and unsubscribe when you don't need it, I think just makes a whole lot of sense for the consumer and for Tesla to bring in some more money. Okay, so now let me play devil's advocate. So if the subscription model is so great, what is the benefit of buying full self-driving in the first place or wanting to keep it around? Like, why would you spend all those thousands of dollars for what you could basically get for a subscription? And I think the answer to that is making full self-driving account wide, making it active on the entire account. So basically, as a quick summary, in the current iteration of full self-driving, you spend X amount of dollars, usually a couple $1,000s, to buy full self-driving, and you get access to that feature set, you get access to all the updates, you get to use all those features, but full self-driving lives with the car. So once you sell that car, or you turn the car in from a lease, or whatever you happen to do with the car, you lose full self-driving. The advantage is that typically full self-driving, because it's an extra feature set and it adds more things, it makes the car a little bit better for resale, but you still lose it when you lose the car. Full self-driving goes with the car, it lives with the car, it's gone, and now if you want to buy a new car, you got to repay for full self-driving. The idea that it would live on the account means that you spend whatever that money is, again, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, whatever the current price of full self-driving is, and it lives on the Tesla account. So you always own it, no matter what car you happen to buy. A 3, an S, an X, you buy a 3 and you lease it and you turn it in and you get something else, or you sell the car, you keep full self-driving on your account. So not only does it live with you and not the car, but it could potentially live with every car on the account. So if you live with a spouse that also owns a Model 3, SX, whatever, if they own a Tesla, this makes even more sense. Instead of having to buy full self-driving or have multiple subscriptions on multiple cars, you pay for it once and you own it on every car on that account. So you have access to it, your spouse has access to it, any car on the account would have access to full self-driving and all of its features. Wouldn't make the car as valuable if you were to sell it, but I think the pros outweigh the cons here, and you would have access to it on, any car you own going forward. I think that makes a lot of sense, and letting full self-driving live on the account, especially for the price you're paying, seems to make the value proposition a lot better and seems to make it a lot more valuable if it lives with you and any car on your account than just letting it live with the car and you having to rebuy it again when you buy another Tesla, if that happens to come up. Another idea for Tesla, since I'm still spewing out ideas, hey Tesla, listen up. What about making full self-driving features a la carte? Let's put aside the subscription model for now, but what if people just wanted to buy certain features? Like, I just want to buy Navigate on Autopilot, I just want to buy Smart Summon, I just want to buy Auto Park. Being able to parcel those out and maybe making those a la carte options in the Tesla app makes a whole lot of sense as well. Maybe you spend $2,000 for a feature you really want. Instead of buying the acceleration boost, you buy auto lane change, or you buy Smart Summon for $1,000. I think, again, parceling out these features as a la carte options alongside full self-driving makes a whole lot of sense because, again, people could buy the features they really want to use, and again, generates a little bit more revenue from other people who otherwise wouldn't buy full self-driving. Again, it just seems to make me a whole lot of sense to kind of offer these features at different levels, different price points, to get them into the vehicles, as many vehicles as possible from different people. And the last thing I think Tesla could really do to drum up some interest in full self-driving is offering a free trial again. Tesla used to offer free trials for autopilot and full self-driving. It would be great to see this come back to the vehicle in some capacity. Like for me, I didn't buy full self-driving and I don't really know what I'm missing because I don't have those features. If I could have a month free of full self-driving, whether it's when I take delivery of the car or I am able to do that at a later date, then I could really see the value in the feature set, and maybe I would reconsider my option not to buy full self-driving, and maybe, just maybe, I'd pop in the app and buy it because I think it's really worthwhile. I think the free trial option definitely should make a comeback. It would definitely drum up some interest and just allow people to really experience what they're missing before they put down the money. It's like the same thing when you buy a Tesla. You know, you don't really know what it's like until you're able to go and test drive and be able to see the power of the vehicle and all the different quirks and features and how cool it is. Many people buy it sight unseen, I understand that, but I think that a trial version of full self-driving in some capacity, whether it's a week, a month, something Tesla does on a yearly basis, like here's 2 weeks free, I think that would be super cool, and again, would just get people a little bit more interested in full self-driving and let them see what they're really missing out on by not having this feature set. So those are my thoughts on full self-driving. What do you guys think? Should Tesla offer this as a subscription service? Are they doing the right thing? Is Tesla full self-driving just really underpriced as it is? I'd love to know your thoughts. Leave those in the comments down below. We can talk about it, but this is, again, just my thoughts on how Tesla could fix full self-driving in its current form, make it a little bit more appealing to others, and just make it a little bit more easily accessible to all Tesla owners. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Robert Rosenfeld, and I will see you in the next video.